Hi guys. How's everyone doing?
Yeah, nice.
Fabulous. Do we have any Zulu people in the audience? Yeah. You can always tell when the Zulus are like, then you know. I'm Zulu man. Hey. Do we have any Xhosa people in the audience? Not Xhosa people. Do we have any Pedi people in the audience? Yeah. Hey! I don't know your language. It's fine. Are there any coconuts in the audience? Well, luckily for you, there's one on stage. My whole life, white people have asked me the same question. They're like, Roy, you're so eloquent. You speak so well. Where did you go to school? And I always respond, can you guys guess where I went to school? Just one guess. Tech. It always, I went to BCAB. You guys don't know that? It's Bill Cosby's Academy for Boys. Because my high school, like Bill Cosby, appeared to be hilarious and wholesome, but was actually terrifying. I'll give you an example. My school was stunning. It had manicured lawns, stained glass windows, stone buildings. It looked like Hogwarts. But for racism and homophobia. Yo, these guys are good at racism, guys. They were like the Real Madrid of racism. Back-to-back champions. And they had this crazy innovative system called systemic racism. Yes. And brown people, we don't appreciate the difference between systemic racism and casual racism, you know? Because casual racism is like stage 2 load shedding, okay? It's like you're driving your car and someone rolls down the window and they're like, you bloody ducky. And you're like, oh, it hurts. But this guy, he's not a serious racist. Nah? He still supports Sia in the Springboks, you know? He still watches interracial porn, you know? But systemic racism, that's like stage 21 racism. It doesn't end, you know? It's like the bold and the beautiful. Just when you think it's about to finish, Brooke is back! and like what was crazy is that this school was so racist that when you got there, for like the black students, they used to have a hierarchy for blackness, nah? And right at the top of the hierarchy of black students were like the head boy blacks, right? And these guys were blacks who were good at sports and academics and culture. And they were very compliant as well, man. And then below that, we had the academic blacks. And they were going to school. And then below that, we had the rugby blacks, and then the cricket blacks, and the soccer blacks. But never the water polo blacks, man. And then below that, we had the existential blacks. Shout out to my colored brothers and sisters. Away. And then, right at the bottom of the pyramid were the faggot blacks. And guess who belonged to them? Me! And like, yo, the school was so racist. Even like the garden staff were racist, right? Like we had this one guy, his name was Ezekiel, right? And he was like head of the garden staff, like head of the gardeners. And like whenever the white kids would get to school every morning, he'd treat them like they just won in the lotto, they was boss, you know? So like my friend Donovan would walk past and be like, hello Donovan, how are you? Hey, so good to see you. And then like the next person would walk past would be David. He'd be like, hello David, how are you? Hey. And then like the black kids would walk past and I walk past and he'd just be like, yeah, when I start with my suits for now. And like even the teachers, they used to treat the black students like Pokemon, man. So like the English teacher when he was bored would be like, I'm gonna play Pokemon with the geography teacher. So he'd take out his Pokemon from his pocket, and it was an academic black. And he'd throw his academic black Pokemon. He'd be like, academic black, I choose you! And then out would pop a black boy with a pen and paper and a calculator. Then the geography coach would look at him and go, I'll acquiesce to your request. So then he'd pull out his Pokeball and be a rugby black Pokeball. And he'd throw it and he'd be like, rugby black, I choose you! And then out would pop a black boy with a scrum cap and a rugby ball and rugby boots and a white wife. And this was the environment that we grew up in. Like, completely inappropriate for children, you know what I mean? Like, can I tell you guys a story about my high school? Yeah, okay. So the year is 2002. George Bush has just invaded Iraq. And gay porn has just invaded my life. So I'm in the common room, and I'm reading a magazine now. And on the outside it says Cosmo, but the inside it says, okay? And then my brother comes, and his name is offensive, but I have to call him Daddy. Because if I don't, so then Daddy comes up to me. And the thing is, Daddy's the funniest person I've ever met in my entire life. Because you see, Daddy, he sounded like a seal. Like, you know the mammal? Yeah, a seal. But a seal from Limpopo, you know? So imagine a vendor seal, okay? So he comes up to me and he's like, Ibra! And I'm like, ah! And I'm like, hello, Daddy! And Daddy's like, Ibra! Clive's calling you, bruh, let's go. So then he starts dragging me up the stairs. So I'm like, Daddy, what's going on? What is Clive on? And he goes, Clive said to Daddy, yes, offensive, I need a faggot black. And I thought to myself, Kana, who's a faggot black? Yes, go away now. So now, Kantuana, let's go, we're going to see Clive. So now I'm nervous now, because Clive's the head prefect, but I'm also kind of excited. Because you see, Clive is a white boy now, and a really, really hot one as well. So you never know what might happen, you know? And he's dragging me up the stairs. And across the rooms, these beautiful wood panel rooms, and then on the walls, these beautiful paintings of all dead white guys, nah? And all I can think to myself is, yo, tonight you're gonna want me to propose. So I get to Clive's room, and I knock on the door, and I'm like, and the door opens, and there's Clive. And he's got a shirt unbuttoned, and his pants unbuckled, and he's holding a bodybuilding magazine, and there's a red light, and I'm like, yo. But then I get cold feet, so I try to leave, man. And there's offensive at the door, and he looks at me, and he goes, hey, brah, me not close doors, brah. And then he closes the door. And I'm stuck in the room with Clive, and I'm nervous and excited, and I'm trying to like stuck my stomach in so that I look thin. It's not working. Anyway, Clive looks at me and he goes, yeah, faggot black, how's it? I've been eating a faggot all week. So then he gets up and he starts taking his shirt off real slowly, and all I can think in my mind is, yo guys, this is like an R. Kelly music video. Then he scrunches his shirt up and he takes it and he pushes it into my chest. And I try to act like seductive, so I'm like, ah! But it's not really so. And then he sits down. So I look at the shirt and I look at Clive and I'm like, you wonder what's going on. So I go to Clive. Clive! What do you mean? What's that with the shirts? And then Clive says to me, it's missing buttons. So now I look at the shirt, I look at Clive and I'm like, you wonder, does Clive think I'm a maid? Yeah. So I said to Clive, Clive, why do you think I can sew? And Clive goes, you're a Mothei, right? So I try to flick my hair like I'm sexist. Yeah. And he goes, well, Motheis can sew. So stop asking silly questions and sew my shirts. So then I take a deep breath of relief and I'm like, you know, Clive, for a moment there I thought you were gonna, force yourself onto me. And then Clive, without missing a beat, looks me dead in the eye and he's like, sis man, I'd never rape a black person. And that's what I mean when I say, it appeared to be wholesome and hilarious, but was actually terrifying. Thank you so much, folks. You did an incredible audience.